Take a look at this. Some amazing images this week from an iconic natural wonder. An Alberta adventurer becomes the first person to climb a frozen Niagara Falls. Simply breathtaking. Well, Will Gadd joins us now. He's on his way to Calgary, but he took the time to join us for an interview at Pearson International Airport in Toronto. Will, thanks so much for taking the time. We appreciate it.
Great to talk with you, and hopefully it's not too loud in here for you.
Well, it sounds great. Will, I got to ask you, first off, why did you want to do this climb? I got to say, it looks fairly terrifying.
There were moments of that for sure, but I mean, Niagara Falls is the most well-known, coolest, wildest, largest volume, neatest waterfall in the world, really. So as an ice climber, that's very, very attractive.
You're just drawn to it. Well, I'd imagine that perhaps there might be others like you who are also drawn to it for the same reasons. How exactly did you get permission to do this?
Well, I had some good luck in that one of my sponsors, Red Bull, is pretty good at working with different government agencies and developing safety plans, and we're able to work together for most of a year on it. I had to fly out to Niagara Falls, I think, 4 times and meet with different park people and really convince them that this wasn't a going over the falls in a barrel kind of stunt, but a really legitimate sport that I could do with a reasonable degree of safety. But it took a lot of work to get permission. It's not something that anybody could just go and do, that's for sure.
Yeah, I bet. Okay, so we've been watching the video of you climbing. What was going through your head as you were making your way up that icy wall?
Well, the first thing that was going through my head is don't fall off, you know. It's a
that's a good message.
That's the first thing. Yeah, in that situation, you really don't want to fall off, because in there, if you fell off, I have a rope and so on. It's probably not going to be the end of the world, but especially down low, if you fell off, you go right into what we were calling the Cauldron of Doom, this just seething maw of crazy water down there, and do it right, do it safely, and practice my sport well. And it was also about the coolest place on earth to be, you know. It's Niagara Falls right there, ripping over my shoulder.
Yeah, that is crazy. Just looking at it. And I will say, I was watching it earlier in the week, and I saw at times chunks of ice just flying past your head. What did you think? What did it feel like to be there?
Well, you know, the ice forms differently there because it's a lot of it is spray. It's actually mist that sticks onto the wall, just like the stuff on your car windshield, but really thick. And it's just not as strong. So you have to climb it carefully and really analyze it and see what's going on. And yeah, when a block of ice goes by your head, I don't care who you are, you're going to notice that. It gets your attention for sure. Yeah,
seriously. So you had the rope and you mentioned the ice chunks, but what was actually the biggest challenge as you were trying to make your way up?
Probably the mist from the falls. You know, you feel the falls in your guts. Literally, it's like it's pretty rowdy for sure. But the mist was freezing onto my ice tools. So imagine trying to hang on to like monkey bars that have ice on them with most of your weight as you go up. That was really challenging. I actually had to stop and melt the ice off my ice tools with my hands before I could keep climbing.
Oh, so you got to take your gloves off and try to warm up your tools? I can't even imagine what you went through on that entire climb up. So what did it feel like when you finally reached the top?
Well, it's a few days later, and I'm still smiling because as an ice climber, to go into a situation with a lot of unknown unknowns and a lot of water, you know, if the water went the wrong way, it was going to strip me off that climb very quickly. I had to really figure out how it worked to get to the top and get everybody out of there safely and climb Niagara Falls. Like, that's the best thing ever. So I'm really happy.
Yeah, that is amazing. So I've got to ask, now you've done this. I saw that shot. You got to the top. You did it. What do you have planned for your next challenge?
Well, I want to use some of my ice climbing skills to show the world in a different way. And I was in Africa a couple months ago and climbed the last remaining glacial ice on Kilimanjaro. And I'm going to go to Antarctica and do a trip there where I go across these huge ice sheets that are breaking off and then climb out of the actual crack where they broke off. And some other things like that. I really want to show the world and experience these places that literally won't be there in relatively short order. And it'll be fun.